Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Do be sure to hit the like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Very briefly, my outfit of the day, 100% of my outfit of the day, which is just a basic black tank top and a pair of black shorts. These are both from Ardene, okay? If you're from maybe Toronto, you probably say Ardene, but it's a local, smaller type chain that you do find in Canada. Fast fashion kind of store. Coco Reef is a luxury hotel located on the island of Tobago within the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The original founder and owner is British, which is why if you go there, you would see a Rolls Royce parked outside. I believe he initially came here with his wife, which is how he ended up based in Tobago in particular, and he decided to, I guess, purchase that plot of land and open the Cocoreef Hotel. The hotel itself sits at the end of a beautiful winding driveway that's lined with well manicured lawns and trees. The actual hotel itself, based on my memory, primarily comprises of actual hotel rooms. However, for more high-end guests, you can actually rent out sort of an annex, which sits at the top of a jetty that actually protrudes into the sea. The hotel itself is within walking distance of the airport, but obviously in Tobago you do have a well-monitored and trustworthy taxi service for the heavier people with heavier luggage. If you've grown up in Trinidad and Tobago, you probably heard the Cocoreef Hotel referred to as the place where Pavarotti stayed when he was in Trinidad and Tobago. And when you go into the hotel itself, they do actually have a room with pictures of celebrities and politicians and famous persons who stayed at the hotel. So it is definitely one of the highest ranking hotels on the island of Tobago, if not in the Caribbean itself. It has hosted quite a few big names over the years, and if I'm not mistaken, most of them would have spent their time at the hotel in the annex that I mentioned before, which is basically like a penthouse where you get it's more than one story, and there is a private jetty that's just for the persons staying in that annex, which they can access through their gallery or porch or however you call that, their patio, I would imagine, for some of the viewers. So that trip for me was probably in 2019. It was quite a while ago. It was quite expensive, quite a pricey hotel, but definitely worth it. I had to save quite a bit in order to afford one night there, but owing to the fact that I did graduate in 2019, I definitely felt that it was, worth saving and spending on that trip. There are incredible restaurants in the actual hotel. I paid for a bed and breakfast package, so I did have breakfast in the hotel itself on most days. Like most luxury hotels, there is, I guess, an omelette bar. I don't mean to refer to it as that, but you can approach the chef who will cook you any sort of eggs that you want live, and they do offer an incredible variety of local pastries in addition to the more popular sort of continental type breakfast items like pancakes, waffles, cereal, that sort of thing. But as somebody with Trinidadian roots, I genuinely enjoyed the fresh coconut bake and the smoked herring and definitely the fresh fruits, in addition to the freshly squeezed juices that you would find in sort of your typical dispensers, and the actual breakfast restaurant area, because there is a dinner, like a more formal type of restaurant for dinner, but there's also where most people would go for breakfast. It's, I would say, spherical. It could have been an out of purpose mill, because the Caribbean is quite popular for these beautiful sort of mill structures that are remnant of our colonial period. So we used to export a lot of, I guess, wheat and grain and that sort of thing. And the hotel industry has certainly capitalized on the aesthetics of those mills or granaries, refineries, and a lot of them have, for example, put restaurants in them. So it's spherical, like you're seated in a spherical type arrangement, and you sort of have platforms in the middle with all of your different cold cuts and local pastries and your pancakes and your waffles, and just along the back you have your egg bar, omelette bar. I'm not really sure how you call that. Like, if you do know, please leave it in the description box. So I just want to get to the part that I found most interesting. The hotel features a private beach, meaning that it is only accessible to the persons who are in-house in the hotel. So they've cordoned off part of the shoreline, and I would just like to add that this overlooks, I believe it's Storebay, as in Storebay is within walking distance, so you have a lot of variety, but it's along the same shore as Storebay in Pigeon Point. And they constructed a beautiful sort of rock bar along the perimeter of this private beach. So it's a bit calmer inside the actual private beach, but they were careful and mindful enough not to prevent the wildlife from building its home there. So if you ask for a pair of snorkels, a set of snorkels, and you just look down, even 1 meter from the shore, you would see an array of fish, and it's absolutely beautiful. A large part of that private beach is actually walkable, like for short people. It's not completely deep all through, but there is a part of the private beach that does deepen a bit, and you can also do your water sports within that confine. I believe that does not include jet skis, but I did go on a kayak with a couple of friends, and it's a very, very enjoyable experience. You can sort of, on a kayak, they prefer that you stay close to the rock bar, but you can, if you want, you can go a little further out. I also rented some type of sailboat. I will definitely have to look up the correct name for it in the description box, but I went on a sailboat of sorts where it could seat maybe 4 people maximum, and you have a proper sail, like not a machine engine oriented type of boat, like it's purely by the wind, and they do show you how to actually operate it. So it's really up to you to sort of catch the wind and maneuver, and it's very lovely to just sort of sail along the coastline. I wanted to be in the moment, so I don't have any pictures from that particular viewpoint, but it was absolutely refreshing. Like it will always stay with me, that particular experience. So you do find your rental office, I guess, and I say it like that because it's very interesting how they did it. Like they sort of constructed sort of a little hut, and somebody there opens the window and you just ask for what you're interested in and they see how they can accommodate you. If I'm not mistaken, they also do diving tours or diving classes, and you can definitely ask at either the front desk or at the little hut on the actual private beach itself on the sand, and they will direct you accordingly. I'm sure there were also jet skis. I saw so much wildlife just along that rock bar within the private beach, and it was a magical experience. I saw dory, I saw a couple of sergeantfish. I will unapologetically always refer to all of those fish, whether it's 1 or 100, as dory. Okay, so I saw dory, I saw a couple sergeantfish, I saw, I guess, a needlefish, just quite an array. I'll actually have to maybe include in the description box all of the ones that you can actually find there within 1 meter of the shore itself, just with snorkels. So even if you're not into diving too much, you will still be able to see a decent amount of the wildlife. Something else that I also quite liked, if you want to have a cocktail in the water, they literally allow you to take your glass, like they'll bring it to you and they allow you to take your glass into the water itself. I can't really tell you too much about the room itself, probably because we weren't really there to be in the room, but it was very comfortable. We didn't have any issues. It was quite spacious. They do give you a standing shower in addition to a tub. I really love that feature in any hotel. So definitely worth the money where the room is concerned. But if you're anything like me or most people my age, you would be more interested in being outdoors than being in your room all day. I did mention Storebay previously. Storebay is one of the best beaches in Tobago, and I do say it's one of the best beaches because it's calm. It's calm, and even short people can walk a good distance out. So it's within walking distance, like maybe 30 seconds from Storebay, and we at least had the option of moving between Storebay and the private beach. And you can obviously find the most popular Trinbagonian meals, and I don't want to say street food, okay, because we do eat a lot of these around the table in Trinidad and Tobago, like crab, dumpling, roti. I had crab and I loved it. It was really, really juicy. Doubles, shark and bake, more of a Trinidadian thing, but definitely a staple for being on the beach. And those are literally on Storebay itself, meaning they have set up a bunch of permanent facilities for serving food. So there is no cafeteria really. You have to, well, there's seating, but it's outdoors. So you can buy local meals on the beach itself, more or less, and you can still proceed to the actual Storebay, just, within 30 seconds from Coco Reef. within walking distance from bigger international chains like Pizza Hut and Subway, and there are small malls with eating centers also within walking distance. I had a kebab, so even if you're not too much into crab or shark and bake or roti, and I've never met anybody who has had it and has not loved it, you can still find the food that you're more comfortable eating if you don't really want to have formal dinner at Coco Reef, or if you don't want to sort of have, I guess, the lighter brunch kind of meals that they do also have at Coco Reef. As always, I was not always a YouTuber, so you will find the pictures I do actually have enclosed in this video, but it's not a whole bunch of them, and I'm painfully aware of that now. I'm really making an effort every time I go out to actually take a couple pictures and a couple videos so that there would be so much narration in my videos. So that will be it. Do leave in the description box if you have been to Tobago and where you stayed, and I'll see you in the next one.